My name is Byron Bidiaho, and today with me, the guest of the day is Mr. Daniel Moyiti, who is a lecturer, he is an inspirational coach, speaker, but also a young man who is very optimistic about life. And we are actually talking about staying positive and optimistic, even during these times of COVID-19. How do we even do it?
Okay.
Good, sir. Happy to have you here again.
Happy having it. It's a pleasure.
Yes, before the show, before the break, we were talking about the subconscious mind. And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, one, social media, right?
Yeah.
So most of us are consumers of social media. We're already on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, doing many things, and subconsciously, we follow particular people on those platforms.
Yes.
And I want to think subconsciously, we end up either adopting certain things or whatever. Facebook last week was sued for apparently, facilitating a lot of mental health issues, suicides, whatever. The people were being depressed because they were on Facebook and Instagram. And I want to think because I went on Instagram or Facebook, I saw Mr. Daniel, what is on TV, he's living a good life. Me, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing? And so, and this is, I don't want to think it happens on the very first day you see Daniel on TV. No, I think it's an everyday thing. So tell us a little bit about the subconscious mind, because we are not conscious about it. It comes, there are habits that we adopt, and we never ever track it down. So one, tell us more a little bit about the subconscious mind, and two, how then, and again a little bit more on how then should we train that subconscious mind. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a very rich area, Byron, in psychology. I'm not going to use the theories and blah blah which I teach. I'm going to make this very practical and very simplified for Omuntu Wawasi.
Please, OWW, yes.
OWW, I love that. Okay, so the subconscious mind is this part of mind which which, first of all, the conscious mind it's the awareness. It's your active mind. It's the one which reasons out things. It's the one which is thinking in the moment.
That's the conscious mind.
That's the conscious mind.
Okay.
And it's very beneficial for someone to understand that when you are in the process of cognition, of understanding, of reasoning, you are actually using your conscious mind. This helps you to do the day-to-day running of things. The subconscious mind, on the other hand, it's comprising of the beliefs about self. It's comprising of the of the mapping of the brain. It's comprising of the mapping of the geographical mapping. The subconscious mind interprets and understands things in terms of images.
The
subconscious mind.
Okay.
That's why in psychology, when you see something, it triggers you to think about what the image you have in your mind. For instance, in psychology, if let's say you see a plate and a fork, you start thinking about food.
True.
And you picture food.
True.
So that is a trigger. When something mentions something, let's say Kampala, images of Kampala start running in your mind. Now, in behavioral psychology or social psychology, the subconscious mind, it's the one which triggers certain habits and certain beliefs. And this is also about the stories you keep telling yourself. Now that is in the formation of the subconscious mind. It's mostly about the stories you tell yourself. It comprises of some inborn instincts, because there are some things whereby you're not taught. They just come up by nature. They just come up. They are inborn. So how then should we train our subconscious mind to align itself in the way that is working for the good or for the better for our lives? One is persistently or consistently tell yourself positive stories.
Uh-huh.
Because and stories, I'm not saying stories in terms of big things. No, I'm saying about having affirming to yourself things like, I am good, I am better about what I'm doing, I am blessed and organized. One time I used to say, I am blessed and organized. You have to believe that everything is working out for your good. You have to have a positive self-esteem about yourself, and you have to believe that the environment you're living in is going to avail you with a positive vibe, is going to give you all the goodness. As the Bible says, goodness and mercies shall surely follow you. When you start telling yourself the positive stories, you are going to trigger positivity right from your subconscious mind. And that will influence your response or your character trait. Because when before you commit murder, in criminal psychology, I've not studied much about it, but there is also the psychology of crimes, whereby someone envisions themselves committing a crime before it's actually committed. That's why the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. So you become your subconscious mind, because this helps you to trigger what is going to happen in the moment.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Daniel, for that. Allow us to talk about attitude a bit. Attitude in terms of attitude, the way we think. First of all, what's attitude? I always hear people talking about, have a good attitude about this. Now your attitude is bad. Have a good attitude. First of all, what does attitude mean? Then what are the attributes as if of a good attitude?
Okay. So attitude, it comprises of thoughts, emotions, and the beliefs.
Okay.
And attitude can be both good or positive or bad, and that is the negative attitude.
Okay.
So when someone's talking about attitude, they're actually meaning thoughts or the thinking processes, how you think about things. And when I talk of thinking, I'm mostly meaning how you perceive things. And perception is very, very, very key. Because your perception is going to influence on how you react and how you take something. And perception really helps us to relate with others, because if I look unto you and I perceive you as someone who is negative, as someone who is unruly, as someone whom I can't relate with, I will affect my my attitude, and I will have a negative attitude about you. So attitude comprises of the thought processes. It has beliefs or belief system onto it, and also part of the emotions and how you react to things. So people will judge your attitude basing on how you react, because no one can know how you're thinking, but the way you react to things, people say, now Byron has a negative attitude about this. He likes this, he doesn't like this. And one of the famous quote which I can remember, it's by Winston Churchill, who was a British Prime Minister during the World War time. And Winston Churchill says, attitude is a very small thing with a very big difference. So that means that we have to pay attention to our attitude. How we are thinking, how we are reacting, and how we are believing about things. So you said I also talk about the indicators of let's say negative attitude, so to say. So how do we then know that someone has a negative vibe? One, they are ever consistently in the blame game. And how do we know the blame game, that someone is always blaming others, blah, blah, blah? These are the people who believe they themselves have no whatsoever contribution to the bad happening in their life, to the bad happening in society. They are always pointing fingers. When someone is always pointing fingers at the environment, at the society, onto others,
the government,
the government, so to say, just know that such a person has a negative attitude. So when someone is actually doing the blame game, blaming others, spirituality, blah, 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 all that, that's a negative attitude. That's one. Two, How do we then know about the indicators? Another indicator for the negative attitude is someone is consistently unhappy and they have emotional imbalance in their life because they are ever stressed about even things they don't have control over. And if you don't have control over something, then why do you stress yourself?
Yeah.
Because they are predetermining their mind that, you know, the stresses can wipe them off very easily because their cognition is negative. So these are the people who are consistently going through post-traumatic stress disorders, which is currently killing our people.
That is very true.